President Biden touching base with local officials in Surfside,
pick up 100% of the costs for the county and the state.
Offering support and meeting with families, halting search efforts.
We did start back up after the structure was determined to be safe.
As structural engineers raise safety concerns. And more stories of tragedy.
2 of these were children.
As a new memorial arises near the collapsed tower. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is Friday, July 2nd, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne Bay Studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Breaking news from the tropics. Elsa has just strengthened into a hurricane, and almost all of Florida is in the cone of concern. All of our viewing area is in the cone this morning, including Surfside, where rescues have resumed, and the search and rescue operation at the site of the collapsed condo building. According to the National Hurricane Center, conditions are occurring in parts of the Caribbean. There is a potential risk of storm, surge, wind, and rainfall impacting parts of Florida early next week.
There is a risk of heavy rainfall and strong winds from Elsa on Sunday night into Monday morning.
With a hurricane in sight, this could potentially hinder efforts and impact Surfside as soon as this weekend, and we continue to monitor Elsa's progress. President Biden offering solace for Surfside during his visit to South Florida as crews continue to search for survivors 1 week after the collapse.
After a week from the tragic collapse of the Champlain Towers building, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden paid a visit to Surfside, Florida.
The whole nation is mourning with these families. They see it every day on television. They're going through hell. And those who survived the collapse, as well as those who are missing loved ones.
And privately met with the families of Surfside as he offered condolences to those desperate for information about their loved ones.
It's bad enough to lose somebody. But the hard part, the really hard part, is to not know whether they're surviving or not.
In today's Surfside briefing, Mayor Daniela Levine Cava and Governor Ron DeSantis met with President Joe Biden. He recognized the pain and suffering happening to those that were affected and reassured that assistance would be provided.
I think I have the power, and we'll know shortly, that to be able to pick up 100% of the costs for the county and the state over the first 30 days.
Biden pledged financial assistance to the rescue and recovery efforts. President Biden and the First Lady also met with first responders, thanking them for their hard work, and also finished their day at the memorial site as they left flowers for the missing people.
Jill and I wanted them to know that we're with them and the country's with them. Our message today is that we're here for you as one nation.
As search and rescue crews continue their efforts, we are sadly hearing more stories of the tragedy. The network's Helen Acevedo shares the story of those victims from the collapse.
It's been 8 days since the Champlain Tower South building collapsed, and the community here in Surfside has united at this makeshift memorial to show their support for the victims of this tragedy. This is Manny Moreno, a South Floridian who was compelled to visit the memorial site across from the collapse to pay his respects to those who are missing and deceased.
It's a little bit sad, but at the same time, I feel that when the people come together, there's like joy, hope, and fulfillment.
The victims of this collapse are pictured across the memorial wall. Among those victims are the Guaras, Marcus Guara, his wife Aneli, and their 2 daughters, Lucia and Emma, who are some of the youngest victims of this tragedy. These photos of the family were left at the makeshift memorial while they were still missing. Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava made a statement about the collapse and its victims this week.
Our community, our nation, and the world, we're all mourning with these families who have lost loved ones. And we grieve with them and we lift them up as a community, and we're so grateful for the support from all of you everywhere. It is also with great sorrow, real pain, that I have to share with you that 2 of these were children.
Neva Lisman was a classmate of Lucia Guara and started a GoFundMe to help the families affected by this tragedy.
I started a GoFundMe on Thursday to try and raise money for the people who were involved in the crashing, and because I wanted to do what I could to help from Orlando.
The community continues to hold on to hope as Day 8 proceeds. In Surfside, Helena Acevedo, South Florida Media Network.
Search and rescue efforts are back on track this morning after officials halted operations yesterday due to rising safety concerns.
I'm very glad that I can share with you that starting at 4:45 p.m. today, we resumed our search and rescue efforts. And I have to tell you that our firefighters looked really excited to get back out there.
The immediate concern is now the stability of the portion of the building that is still standing. Crews continue to work to find any signs of life. A royal remembrance, the unveiling of a statue honoring the late Princess Diana. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Firecracker! Firecracker!
Sparking an outburst, a Florida man putting on his own 4th of July spectacle. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
It's all of our responsibility to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. You can still use your outdoor spaces like yards and decks. It's also okay to go for a walk or exercise outside. Wear a cloth face covering, stay at least 6 feet away from other people, try not to touch any surfaces, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
A Southwest Florida man having a firecracker frenzy, pretending to be a firework, screaming across a canal and upsetting neighbors. Protesting pyrotechnics and putting on his own show, the man woke up neighbors with his screams. The network's Alejandra Garcia has more on the story.
Firecracker! Firecracker! Boo!
People living on a Cape Canal got an early 4th of July show.
Go, go, go! Firecracker!
They couldn't see it exactly, but they could definitely hear it.
The dogs were barking and we go outside and this guy is screaming, I mean, so loud. He seemed to be upset that people were celebrating early.
The resident came outside and heard someone screaming from the darkness across the canal, putting his own show on in protest of pyrotechnics.
Shut up! Bottle rocket! That's annoying, isn't it? So quit doing it in the middle of the night!
Well, he's definitely out there, that, or he's definitely on something, maybe.
Fireworks are legal in Florida on 3 days, and the 4th of July is one of them. Although they are legal, they might still violate Cape Coral's noise ordinance. But this guy is too.
Pretending to be a firework is also going to run afoul of our noise ordinances.
Cape Police responded to 6 different firework-related calls within the last 48 hours alone. But neighbors said they didn't hear any fireworks that night.
The resident has a theory on why this guy was putting on his own display, and it relates to him protesting about how a lot of fireworks can get on this Independence Day and how he will be affected on Sunday. In the Control Center, Alejandra Garcia, South Florida Media Network.
Honoring the late Princess Diana, a statue was unveiled yesterday at Kensington Palace. Prince William and Prince Harry reunited to unveil the statue dedicated to their mother on what would have been her 60th birthday. Both Harry and William were deeply involved in the entire process since 2017, sharing that the gardens were one of Princess Diana's favorite locations. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.